I think that might actually be a day of cricket that Australia hasn't won. I mean, Sri Lanka didn't win it, but Rain might have. I mean, I'll take that. I mean, I don't have to say how good Australia were today. They took 2 wickets in the few overs that they did bowl in the first session. Chandimal went to 63, which was pretty good. Kusal Mendes fell relatively early. I was hoping that he was going to make a big score, but it didn't quite happen. He was out for 15. De Silva made 22. Kusal Mendes is 10 not out. Stark and Kuhneman both picked up wickets today. I mean, the weather looks pretty rubbish for for tomorrow. It looks fine the day after. So who knows what's going to happen? I think Sri Lanka would be incredibly lucky to get out of this game as a draw. But if you're going to have, maybe a day and a half, day and a bit to take 15 wickets? Seems like a lot, but I mean, I guess I'd back this Australia team. I don't think the pitch is going to do much more, considering we're not having much play on it. Day 5, there might be a bit more turn, but if it does rain for the majority of tomorrow, I do think that Australia are going to be really struggling to try and get a result. I think if it is clear at any point, they need to finish up this innings and then ask them to follow on. I mean, it doesn't really matter about your bowlers. Your bowlers have had a bit of a rest, so you don't really need to worry about that. So if I'm Australia, try and pick up the 5 wickets that are left as quick as possible, enforce the follow-on and just pray to the rain gods that it doesn't rain too much. But I mean, Australia is still massively on top, and that is Sri Lanka's only hope is a massive downpour. Do England even practice their fielding? Like, is that a thing that happens? I haven't seen them do it, I don't think. But they cannot catch. I mean, there was about 10 dropped opportunities that went down today. Australia could have been bowled out twice. I mean, it was so bad. Annabelle Sutherland scores 163, which is sensational. It really is. Beth Mooney finishes on 98. They all batted well, but they all got 3 chances. I mean, a lot of players can score centuries if you give them 3 or 4 chances. And England were so bad in the field. I mean, they kept creating chances. I mean, the whole point of a test match is that it is difficult to take 20 wickets. If you need to take 20 wickets, you can't make 40 wicket opportunities, but you're dropping half of them. You can't do it. It doesn't win test matches. In terms of how terrible this tour has been, we're now looking at like 06, 07 Ashes for the men. We're looking at 21, 22 Ashes for the men. 13, 14 Ashes for them. There's been some really bad Ashes for the men. Okay, we're now on those levels. I want this series to end. I want someone to be sacked because of it, and I want this series to be over, and we do not touch Australian shores as the women's team for another 3 years. Okay, I don't want anything like this to happen ever again. This is terrible. We deserve to lose 16-0 isn't enough. It really isn't enough, okay? I want full credit to Australia. They're a fantastic team. They're probably the most dominant team that sport has ever seen, helped by them bringing professionalism in the women's game a lot earlier than all the other countries. But by the by, that doesn't necessarily matter. They are so good. They have so many good players. And I think England have a lot of good players too. Just none of them perform. And it's just a little thing. Like, can we catch? Some of the sitters that were dropped today was embarrassing. It really was. Shivam Dube is a batting all-rounder that really doesn't bowl a lot. He's bowled 9 overs in his last 12 games. Harshit Rana bats 9 or 10 and bowls decent pace. Okay, how the hell have we got allowed that to happen in a concussion sub? Shivam Dube comes out, who scores 53 and wins man of the match, and then Harshit Rana comes in as an impact sub, like in the IPL, and takes 3 for 33. How is that allowed to happen? I mean, I know we're playing India in India, so you're already at a disadvantage. I mean, there was talk in the test series that Michael Vaughan wanted cameras in the DRS box to see if they were actually cheating. But no, this was just blatant cheating, okay? Whoever the match referee is, I have looked it up, can't remember his name, don't particularly care that much. How have you allowed that to happen? I mean, that is an absolute joke. I mean, there were some really stupid shots from England, but you could just tell the amount of head loss that was going on from that team over Harshit Rana being able to play. It basically meant that they put Hardik Pandya in their team to be their second seamer and open the bowl and bowl a little bit of the death. It means that they didn't have to do that. They could just bowl Harshit Rana the whole 4 overs. Okay, that shouldn't be allowed. That's a joke. If you want to bring impact subs into the game, That's absolutely fine. I'm actually for that. I think that would be really interesting in international T20 cricket, is to bring an impact sub in. Okay, it takes away from all rounders, but you can't just do it. You can't just say, oh, okay, that's a concussion sub, especially when you already have a perfect replacement for Dubé in the team already. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. Saqib Mahmood bowled incredibly. He took a triple wicket maiden. Okay, I don't want to miss out on that and be angry about something else. Shivam Dubé actually batted really well for his 53 off 34 before he got hit in the head. Hardik Pandya scored 53 off 30. India get up to 181 for 9, which was a decent score. It looked like a pretty flat track. They fought back after being in a bit of trouble, kind of 57 for 4. I mean, they were 12 for 3 at one point. Then England were going okay, 62 opening partnership, lost a few quick wickets, but we were 95 for 3 at one point after 11 overs, and you think, okay, yeah, no, England could probably do this with the batting that they've got. Harry Brook puts on 51, Ben Duckett 39. It was nice for Harry Brook to score some runs and not be bowled by the smog, and then India cheated and England eventually lost. So that was good fun. I'm still genuinely shocked by it. It's a T20 bilateral series that just doesn't matter to me. But the fact that they could actually get away with something like that is just ridiculous. We've had more selling the 100 news that has come out. Birmingham Phoenix have gone for like 41 million. Tom Brady has bought them. It was an 82 million pound bid that got for the whole franchise. Then they pay the 49%, which was like 41 million, and then the London Spirit got sold for a value of just under 300 million, so they pay 144.5 million for that. That was a Silicon Valley tech consortium that had the Microsoft and the Google CEO in it, and then we've also had the Welsh Fire who got sold for £7. No, they actually went for more money than I thought they were going to. They had a 67.5 million valuation on it, so 33.5 or whatever that works out to, 34 million that they paid for it, for the same people that own the Washington Freedom in the MLC. There's a lot more money going around than I thought there was going to be. And one thing that they have come out and said is that the BBL are watching this really closely, because they're now the only league that doesn't have any investments from private equity. There is no, everything is owned by Cricket Australia and the different teams, and that's how it works. And now they're looking very, very closely at how this works. And I do think that the BBL franchises would probably go for more money, just because, I mean, how many? They've had 14 versions of the tournament now. I have absolutely no problem with the ECB selling this off. I think the money probably lasts 15, 20 years, maybe. Maybe it keeps it down. I don't know what you do after that. I don't know how you save county cricket after that. But I'm more than happy with money being pumped into county cricket. I love county cricket, and if someone wants to buy a month of the summer for £500 million, absolutely fine by me. A win for MI Cape Town, that one was. I mean, they scored 222 for 3. Was slightly upsetting that they didn't lose only 2 wickets, because then it would have been 222 for 2, and I would have enjoyed that very much. Hendricks scores 77 off 44. Brevis scores 73 off 32 with 6 sixes in there. Just unreal knocks from them. 30 from Van der Dusen, 22 from Reckleton, 16 from Ingram. None of the bowling looks very good for Pretoria. And then in Pretoria's chase, they never really got anywhere. Will Jacks puts on 39. Will Smead puts on 52. And there wasn't really much else. Bosch Rashid Khan takes 2 for each. And MI Cape Town look very, very good this year. I mean, I think they're still... No, they go to top of the table now. They go above the Par Royals after the Par Royals lost their last game, because they've won a fair few more bonus points. But, I mean, if you're an MI Cape Town fan, you've got to be very, very happy with that. I mean, just sensational batting. I mean, fair play to Pretoria, get up to 195, but just when they scored 222, I just knew that they weren't going to get anywhere near it.